two, one.
And welcome to the PhD podcast. It's your boy Teddy,
I'm your co-host Marcus.
and today we're going to be talking about the free agency of 2023. But before we get to the free agency, we're going to talk about the draft momentarily. Any reaction? Any shockers? Shocker on who went number one?
Well, we already knew who was gonna go number one. We talked about that in like January or February. That's gonna go back and reference it, but yeah, like we all knew Wemby was going one.
Yeah, that was a no-brainer. The moment the team found out who was getting the pick, everyone knew where he was going.
And shout out to that one San Antonio fan who was wearing a Wemby jersey in like November. He knew.
The fix was in.
And congratulations to the Denver Nuggets on winning their championship. MVP Jokic.
Yeah, they deserved it. I mean, when you play the whole playoffs and the toughest matchup was losing 2 games, yeah, well deserved.
Yeah, so congrats to them. It was inevitable. I really thought wanted it to go to Game 6 so I could be in Miami for it, but that was for selfish reasons.
Yeah, and I wanted to go to 7 for selfish reasons as well. And nothing's better than a Game 7 in NBA Finals.
Yep. But now there is another elephant in the room during this pre-draft stuff that was going on with former number one draft pick in the 2019 class, Zion Williamson.
What happened with Zion?
Well, he ended up announcing that he was having a child.
Ah, good for Zion. Shout out.
Yeah, it was a daughter.
Okay.
But then the person who he had said child with happened to be a adult entertainer for dancing.
It's only entertainment.
And there's certain things that ended up happening during that another P star, because guidelines can't say what they actually do, but you can figure that out yourself.
It's explicit rating.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was a porn star, man. Mariah Mills. If you want, you can use Google to look at her work if you choose to do that, but that's solely up to you. But yeah, she was trying to ruin the NBA draft herself, and Adam Silver had to do some things about that.
But I didn't even know that. No way.
Oh, you didn't hear what he did?
What, he had 2 girls pregnant?
No, I'm talking about Adam Silver.
Oh, I think it was Zion. No, what'd he do?
So Adam Silver ended up doing what the NBA does best, shut down that account. Her account got suspended.
Okay.
So, no, because she was trying to do some other things by demanding Zion got traded, showing a bunch of tweets all over the place. I think she ended up having 144 tweets, almost as many games as Zion played in.
In 3 years?
Yeah.
Oh. Damn.
No. Certain things like that.
Well, hopefully Zion can get his conditioning back.
She tried to help him with that.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Okay, yeah. I mean, as long as he gets his conditioning back. Because when he was playing on the Pelicans, they were the number 1 seed in the West at some point earlier this year. But, the best
For
availability...
what, like 3 weeks?
Yeah, they were they were number 1 for a bit, for a while. Like, I'd say for a month almost, for like a month. Yeah,
Utah was nice too at the beginning of the season.
Hey man, no one knew what Laurie was gonna do.
No, but Laurie had himself a great year.
All right, yeah. So moving on with free agency, were there any shockers for you? I mean, as soon as free agency started, Draymond Green was the first person to actually sign the contract at 601.
See, with me, I didn't even know that it was going to start. I thought it was going to be July the 1st. So when I just started seeing all this stuff coming on my screen, I'm like, God, I thought free agency was July the 1st like it always was.
It's usually like on a Thursday or a Friday. I guess they had it on a Friday.
And I always thought it already started on July the 1st at midnight. So I was just waiting, come back home from work, sign here, sign. I'm like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah, so Draymond was the first person to allegedly sign at 601 and got 4 years for 100, so basically like 25 a pop for Draymond. Took a $4 million pay cut to re-up on the years.
Well,
I felt like it was a good move. I feel like it was coming once they announced Jordan Poole was being traded for Chris Paul.
Yeah, that was one of those, well, Jordan Poole's still going to do his thing over there in Washington. So shout outs to him. Moving on to a future endeavor with the Washington Wizards and being their new franchise player.
The East Coast Sacramento, the Wizards.
I don't know about that. That's putting praising them a lot more than they deserve.
No, I mean like the old Sacramento. Not the one this year.
Oh, okay.
Like the drought, when Sacramento had the drought.
Oh, that 18-year drought?
Yeah, the Wizards, I feel like, are about to claim that throne.
Oh, they're going down the path for that, so, you know.
Yeah, I'm not a Jordan Poole believer, but I felt like with them moving him to get Chris Paul, Draymond Green was definitely coming back. It's just a matter of when. I didn't know he was going to sign at 601. That still amazes me that he signed at 601. And we'll see what the Warriors do. I mean, I like the pickups they have. We'll see. And any signings you want to talk about?
Well, there's a really big signing that I did not understand or see coming, which was one of the rookie classes when they freed up to get their money was Desmond Bane. I posted about that. I'm like, I don't get it. I'm like, you gave that man, like, Steph Curry money? Like,
What did he get?
I think it was like $225. Like, it was ridiculous. I'm like, what?
I'm checking that right now, actually. 225?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm reading it right now. He signed on July 1st at 12:26 a.m. for 207. Yeah. You want some water, man? You can drink some water, man. Aquafina. Stay fresh.
Yes.
Yeah, he signed at 12:26, 207 for 5 years. I mean, it's crazy. The only thing that amazes me about these contracts, like, doesn't mean he's a good player. I mean, he was one pick after Malachi Flynn in whatever draft class it was. Yeah, I don't remember draft class if it was 18 or 19, but yeah, good player. I always feel like if you made an All-Star game, you're required to make $100 million. So when I see guys like you said get $200 million and didn't have like no All-Star experience,
sorry to
no
cut you off,
All-Team.
but yo, you know these old heads, mad as hell. Man's getting $200 million in 5 years, and you a role player?
I feel like he's their third wheel. I think he's their third best player on that team last year after John Jared Jackson. I believe he was the third guy.
207?
Yeah, that Bulls. I'm shocked as well.
Like, I don't even understand with like the whole new CBA and stuff like that. Like, players are getting paid more money. Like, just the collective bargaining agreement in of itself, the new TV. Like, I get all that. But 207, like, I don't want to count people's pockets, but shout outs to his agent. Like, that's a wonderful day.
That would be Jim Tanner.
Good job, Jim Tanner.
That'd be Jim Tanner.
Like, wonderful job. Speaking of other free agents, Rich Paul had himself a ball.
Yeah, Clutch Sports, they did it again. I mean, which one you want to go with? I'm gonna go with the obvious one for me. Former Raptor Fred VanVleet, one-time All-Star. I guess he's the highest paid player to be undrafted. He just re-upped up on a new deal.
So he
3 years, $130.
That's why he broke the other record deal, which was him.
I mean, when you shatter your own records, it ain't much.
So, shout outs to Clutch Sports and Rich Paul.
I personally would have not paid Fred that money. Like, if I was running an organization, if it was my team, the team I support, I wouldn't pay him that much. But you don't know hate on him getting his bag.
No hate whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, 43 a pop for 3 years. I mean, good job. Yeah, I mean, that's generational wealth. I get that. Sometimes you got to make that move. I mean, it is warmer in Houston than Toronto.
And the Raptors made a deal with signing his replacement, which was Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, shout out to Dennis Schroeder, man. He knows about the nightlife in the six. You ever see it? Yo, what do you mean? Dennis Schroeder, cool guy. Shout out to Dennis Schroeder.
So, from personal experiences, I'm assuming?
No, I'm just going by stories I've heard. The third-party encounter. I only seen him off a bus. That was it.
Oh, okay. Thought we were going to have story
No, not today. Speaking of someone who didn't get their money, but re-up with their last team they played on was Russell Westbrook. agreeing to the vet minimum for 2 years. I feel like it was a good fit when he came and joined the Clippers. I mean, his performance in Game 1 was exceptional. I mean, he played well in that whole series, even though they lost in, 5 or 6? That was in 5, right?
Something like that.
The Clippers lost in 5. But I feel like he was their second best player after Kawhi Leonard went down in 2 games. He definitely was their guy.
Agreed. Because it's like one of those... That's why I still don't understand. Like, Westbrook signed for 2 years, $8 million. But then there's dudes out here getting $40 million that are role players. Like...
Hey, Westbrook had his run of getting money. Westbrook had his run.
He had his money. Like, there's no doubt about that. But it's like just one of those, just the NBA just giving money away.
Yes. Is there any rookie extensions you want to talk about with LaMelo or Anthony Edwards?
No, both of them deserve their money.
So
they signed for the max of what you can get, and it is what it is with that.
Same thing with Tyrese Halliburton and Sabonis.
I think the person who deserved all their money was Sabonis.
Okay, I mean, he's the one that has been to more All-Star games than the rest of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And look at what he's done with Sacramento, which he's only there for a year and a half. Like, you deserve your bread.
Okay. All right. What about the Lakers? Clutch Sports' number one clientele with LeBron and what they did.
What, LeGo?
Nah, he's some people's goal. He ain't my goal. We have an episode coming out to address that matter. But the Lakers reeing up with Austin Reeves, reeing up with D'Angelo Russell. Austin Reeves got basically 12.4 a year, which is the average salary.
For a role player who was a late draft pick, that's deserving money. He played well and he deserves what he got. Well, D'Angelo Russell's money, I just hope you saved your money that you got in your last contract when you were with Golden State.
You think he's going downhill for D'Lo?
Well, the way that he played in that postseason, I hope he bounces back, but I don't know.
I think the Lakers did well. I mean, 2 years for D'Lo for 37, basically like 18 a pop. I thought that was the right move. They also got Gabe Vincent from Miami, which I thought was an underrated pickup. I mean, when Gabe Vincent was these playoffs, he was probably like their third best player or even fourth best player at times on Miami, which made that deep, incredible run to the finals.
Yeah.
The Cinderella team. Gabe Vincent did have a big part in that. I felt like that was an underrated pickup after they let Schroeder go to Toronto. And they also just re-signed Malik Beasley the other day. So you're going to see part 2 of Sky Pippen Jr. and Malik Beasley. Yes, Malik Beasley back on the Lakers, vet minimum. Lord. Did you hear what Michael Jordan said, though, about his
Larson Pippen?
Yeah, with the relationship with his son? He does not approve. MJ does not approve.
He was not happy. He said no. That was his one quote. What did you think about the relationship? Do you approve of it? No.
I think he just don't want Scottie in the family by any means necessary.
Well, there's other things that were going on in the Pippen household. Not sure if you ended up seeing that other article that came out about Scottie Pippen's wife, Larsa Pippen, is getting half of Scottie's retirement fund.
Hey, Scottie never won any contract in his life, man. Whether it was Nike, whether it was his agent, whether it was with the Bulls, whether it was divorce. You name me a contract that Scottie Pippen won right now.
The Nike one wasn't that bad.
Man, he turned down Foam Posits and got his own signature shoe. How did that do?
The up-tempos were nice.
Better than the Foam Posits?
No.
You see, Scottie also got the contract. That's my point. Speaking of someone who actually won a contract that everyone said he would not get a contract,
I don't know what to say about that.
Dillon Brooks. I mean, H-Town doing it again. Dillon Brooks getting $80 million for 4 years. Because the way they were
dumping on Dillon Brooks.
Yeah, he got 20 a year. Dillon Brooks.
But they kept saying, you going to China. You going to China. Shanghai Sharks. Well, Shanghai Sharks this. See that deal? Shout out to Dillon Brooks.
Yeah.
Ontario Zone.
Yeah, Saga. 905. At least not playing on the 905 team. I'll give him that. Because there were jokes that he was going to go back home. Literally, like, 905 home.
Well, the NBA proves you wrong again.
Well, sometimes you get humble. Sometimes when trash talking backfires, these are the type of results that happen. But Dillon Brooks, I felt like, was a decent role player. He'll get you 12 a game, get you 15 a game off the bench with 4 fouls, 2 turnovers. I feel like, puts his heart on his sleeve. Like, he's someone that you want on your team at times. but someone you don't want to go up against as well for the annoying factor. I mean, if you could just tone it down, have the right vet to mold, school him the right way, I think he could have a decent career in the
Well, he's
league.
not gonna have a vet when you go to a younger squad. So.
No, I'm saying he needs the right veteran.
Oh,
though.
he needs.
Like if he had someone I always diss, like if he had Marcus Smart or someone like an old Tony Allen, like even a Pat Bev who just who just went to Philly this free agency as well, like someone like that, like someone that's like a pest, hard headed that could like mold him the right way to when it's time to poke the bear and when it's time to fall back and like stay in your lane. Something
I
like
love
that.
Pat Bev. Shout out Pat Bev.
Pat Bev with Joel Embiid, I think is gonna be great this year.
Because Pat Bev will keep Embiid in check.
Oh, right out for him as well.
Yep.
Yeah, you make a hard foul on Embiid. I think he's gonna be the first one there to ride out for that one.
And that's why you need a Pat Bev on your team every once in a while.
I said his name earlier, Marcus Smart. What do you think about him getting shipped out for Porzingis in a 3-team deal?
Well, I feel that it's one of those. His time in Boston's kind of ran its course. Boston's went as far as they possibly can with this roster and with that trio of him, Tatum, and Brown. And it's just one of those. It's gonna try something different. You had a couple conference finals appearances. You went to the NBA finals. Then that whole Ime Udoka stuff happened. Shout out to Ime for getting another job.
Yes, and one more thing before I switch this up. Kyrie Irving staying in Dallas, even though when he was on the team, they were 4th place, and then when it was all said and done, they were 12th.
I did not see that happening.
Kyrie re-ing up 3 years, 126. So basically, Van Fleet's getting more money than Kyrie Irving, just for those out there wondering.
If you're doing the math, keep your tabs, you know?
You're surprised with Kyrie staying in Dallas?
Yeah, I thought he was gonna sign somewhere else, but then it's like one of those. Well, you're like those players who have those Hall of Fame type career. You don't want to end up doing the rainbow. No, all the uniforms you wore. It's like, yo, how many teams did this man play for?
Well, his old teammate James Harden is on the way of doing that.
Yeah, I think he needs to wear purple. And I think there's one more other color he has to wear.
First purple is either going to the Kings or the Lakers. I don't think they both want him. Unless the Clippers start wearing some new purple, I can see James Harden on the Clippers. But with Kyrie, I like Kyrie running it back in Dallas. I like that move for him. I mean, with the new CBA, teams don't have as much cap space as before. So for me, I felt like okay, his contract basically is like in the same timeline as Luka's, so it's either gonna work or it's not gonna work. It's basically all or nothing.
Yep. Key into your money, man.
Speaking of his old teammate, I just got to point this out because I didn't address this earlier when I said Chris Paul got traded. The original trade of Bradley Beal to the Suns.
I like it. But I still wonder of who gonna play point guard. I get Cameron Payne gonna be it, I guess.
So my understanding,
it's a great situation for him,
my understanding is they traded Landry Shamet in that deal. So he's on the Wizards now, and then Chris Paul got moved for Jordan Poole to the Warriors. They picked up Aaron Gordon in free agency recently as well. So basically, I felt like they were lacking guard scoring off the bench.
But didn't they drop him though, so they wouldn't have to pay the luxury tax?
No, they traded Shamet.
No, I'm talking about Aaron Gordon.
They got him on a vet minimum.
I swear that they had to waive him or whatever.
How do you waive someone off free agency? That doesn't work. You only waive guys that you don't on your team previously.
No, that's why they didn't re-sign him.
No, Eric Gordon.
Oh.
No, he's on the Suns now. He was on the Clippers last year.
I thought you were talking about when he was with the Clippers. It is what it is.
No, man, when Eric Gordon was on the Clippers, Soulja Boy was cranking that. That was a long time ago.
Shout out to Soulja Boy. That dad's transcended that whole generation.
And I gotta address the obvious. And no, it's not Bol Bol getting released yesterday. Damian Lillard asking to leave the Portland Trailblazers.
And then fans trying to turn on him. I'm like, are you kidding me? That man gave his heart and soul to that organization. Portland just failed to build a team around him. And that goes back to when other free agents used to talk about how some organizations just care about selling tickets and making sure that their team's in the green. And I feel Portland's one of those organizations.
That's the Aaron Gordon thing before. But yeah, with Damian Lillard, about time. I mean, if KG did it, If KG got up and left Minnesota, you should go leave your team as well. I mean, it's very rare to see guys like Cole, guys like Dirk, or even Tim Duncan stay in one franchise for almost 20 years and bring a chip. Very hard to do. Really, really, really hard to do. Those are very rare. Like, even D Wade, I'll make an exception. Like, D Wade, well, he left actually, so I take D Wade away from that. But yeah, we still remember when you were on the Bulls and the Cavs. But yes, my point is, like, he wasn't gonna get done in Portland. His best teammate there was like CJ McCollum. Like, no knock on CJ, but like CJ was like always borderline all star. Especially in the West, it's hard to make an all star game when you're in the guard position. So for me, it's about time. The real question is, where does he go?
Well, he already told them I only want to go to Miami, and people were like, "Oh, that's not gonna happen." It's like, well, it worked when KD wanted out, it worked when Harden wanted out, and worked when AD wanted out.
I worked with Harden twice.
So it's like one of those. Don't tell me that. Oh, you can't go where you want without a trade request. It will happen.
All right, before we wrap this up, you're saying he's going to Miami 100%.
Yeah.
I agree with you on him going to Miami. The only thing I feel like that's slowing down this deal is the third team to take Tyler Hero.
Well, because Tyler Hero had the broken hand and never came back, that's making teams hesitant. So, you gotta stay tuned and find out. Check us out too.
Yes, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, of course. And stay tuned to our next episode. That's pretty much it. Follow us on Instagram as well. Oh, I never brought out Miles Bridges.
Oh,